wholly unjustified and brutal invasion of Iraq. Of Ukraine.
Wars have been fought over oil. In a short matter of time, they will be fought over war.
That's episode 42, right? That's where we're at.
42.
I think so. I'm pretty sure.
Red or blue?
I've never been more sure. I think it's episode 42.
Sounds right.
It sounds right to me.
Your
Everyone,
is...
we're back.
Yeah.
With a special Christmas episode.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And, Christmas, Hanukkah,
whatever you celebrate. I'm actually celebrating Saturnalia. I've been designated the Lord of Misrule for the past couple of weeks. I'm told that nothing bad happens at the end, so I should be fine. It's a deep cut for all my Roman history heads out there.
Oh, well, Rome's still there, so I don't see anything bad that could have happened in between then and now.
They became a sacrifice at the end.
Oh.
Yeah. To Saturn. Yeah.
Is that what all the broken buildings are about?
Is that what happens? No, Saturnalia was pretty chill. They just hung out. Actually, Saturnalia there were some aspects of it that were very interesting. Saturnalia for the Roman Empire was the one time when enslaved people were just given a little festive hat. And then they were like, oh, you're just like regular people now. You're allowed to fucking just walk around and be cool for a little while. Huh. So I don't know. That Romans did that, I guess. Still hell the rest of the year, but for a little bit, you got to pretend.
You got a hat and you got to chill.
Yeah.
It's like the reverse purge. It's like for a day, we are going to be civilized and allow the enslaved people to be human again. Just for a day.
That's better than what we're doing in the United States, I think. I don't know.
Better than no days. Better than no days.
I will say they've, those prisoners do have Luigi looking excellent right now. Well, they put that man together, Whew.
I mean, there's oh my God. Speaking of Luigi.
Yeah.
And the SNL, you see that little clip?
Oh, where I was like, oh, okay, SNL is on the Luigi side, and then they went straight into fucking prison rape, and I was like, oh, okay, well, never mind.
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
it's still SNL, huh? That's very interesting.
Still, and that's it's just this, just the open thing with our prison system of no, this is a fair and just thing, but also. We are just going to joke about rape happening to these people because that's justice.
It's subversive and it plays into some sort of necessary carceral punishment for people and to be emasculated, etc.
Yeah,
because that's the perception of it through a heteronormative lens, etc., etc.
Yeah, fuck.
Pretty cool stuff. Loving it.
Although. We'll say maybe let's start off with the Luigi update because there was the arraignment or whatever today.
Yeah,
pleaded not guilty because
good.
and so I love that his lawyer went after Eric Adams for the perp walk.
Incredible.
And if this isn't a miscarriage of justice, I don't know what is. Okay, you got the mayor already just calling someone a terrorist.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I've got a Turkish double agent calling my poor sweet boy a criminal.
Right?
Too? Excuse me?
Disgusting.
Yeah. Just ridiculous, miscarriage of justice, I think, perfectly characterizes it. It's just, how are you going to prove it? Show me. Match up some, what's the plan?
They haven't even showed the lawyers the evidence. What are they trying to hide? What are they trying to cook up in the meantime?
What's the idea? I know New York Police Department loves falsifying evidence all the time. What's it look like?
Yeah. What are you trying to...
He picked this
What
kid
are you
up
trying
in
to make up?
Pennsylvania. I don't think that was New York. What are you gonna do?
World famous Altoona Pizza. Look it
Yeah.
up. Why else would he be there?
People, it's unique, okay? All right, people want to go there because it's different.
It's okay. You
There's
go
a
to
lot of
McDonald's
different foods that listen.
and go get a hash brown, waiting for the pizza shop to open up. Who has it? Oops.
Yeah,
Whoops amongst us.
you get a little hungry, you get a little peckish. He's very fit. He might have just gone to the gym. You've got to get, you got like a little protein or some carbs after that.
That's right. That's right.
Think about it.
Yeah, although like I do think and that's the thing where it's with the 24-hour news cycle and murders and this the cases and the trials afterwards. This shit is part of the news media in the United States, at least. I don't know how other countries do this shit. This is the only one that I see is beneficial in any way.
Yeah,
because at the very least, at least 2 sentences to our fucked up healthcare system gets regurgitated every time they talk about it.
yeah.
And this is, the bar is in hell, but those 2 sentences, and also on the juxtaposition of these talking heads completely showing they're out of touch to their audiences. This is where, I don't know, who knows what happens, but at least Americans see a solidarity with no downsides to this,
Sure.
like this
The
isn't
boomers hate him, apparently. These
But
people
as
that
far
use
as
the healthcare system the most are just like, no.
well, and I'd say there's a good chance that people who have escaped this healthcare system, like people on Medicaid or Medicare, even though these like plans are starting to fuck, part A, part B, these privatized plans are starting to fuck people over. That's the best you're going to get out of any type of a populace that's like, well, maybe the insurance isn't that bad because maybe it wasn't bad for you before you were allowed to get onto the government plan.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's where everybody else, you know what I'm saying? Everybody else knows the healthcare insurance industry sucks shit. And and at some point, I do see a little bit like they are talking about it as an issue to talk about. Yeah. And that's one thing where at least maybe some of these craven ass fucking mainstream media will buy into is that they may feel uncomfortable with the amount of Americans that are just responding with, to the killing of the CEO with complete apathy because of their situation. What they do know is that that's a hit.
Yeah.
That's something that is going to get clicks.
Yeah.
And so they're, in some sense, like maybe they just, it's a self-preservation thing. So I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe. Speaking to me in the courtroom, Matt Gaetz, huh?
Oof.
Just tens of $1,000s for nothing. It's just, gifts, really. Just
friendship.
Just friendship.
For friendship, yeah.
Oh man, it is like, listen, obviously you and I and most thinking people have realized that Matt Gaetz is a pedophile, like since upon looking at him, right? But like, it is crazy that Kevin McCarthy has known this for years. Like this discovery that's now coming to light has known this shit for years and still just kind of like has to, because of how the apparatus of government works, has just had to sit around and shit talk and be catty about it because he can't actually just be like, hey, we don't allow fucking pedophiles in here. You're not allowed to come to work today. You're fired. We're not allowed to do that with elected officials for whatever fucking reason.
This would have been much easier for Kevin McCarthy had the U.S. government, some sort of known or no known pedophiles.
Yeah.
If they actually just said, hey, we know that you solicited sex with a 17-year-old.
Yeah.
We know that you need to leave.
Yeah, you're not allowed
Imagine.
in polite company. In fact, there's a small oubliette on the way out if you would like to walk towards it before, so we don't have to push you. That would be ideal.
At the door, there will be a gentleman to escort you to somewhere else, but you need to get the fuck out of here now. Like, and that's the thing is that, I mean, Kevin McCarthy has said it at the RNC.
Yeah.
He said it he said it at some talk at like Liberty University or some shit.
Yeah.
He's dropped it a few fucking times. But the thing is though, is that like Mark Wayne Mullen, that asshole, when he talked about Matt Gaetz showing him a video. So, and like, this is where like, so he was showing revenge porn.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah.
With a minor.
Yeah. Man.
Like.
I know these people are monsters. Like, I get it. Right? But like. God damn. Like, I know, like, yeah, no, listen, I know these people, like what they want to do to the American people, what they, would not mind doing to each other, the amazing amounts of fuckery that they get up to. But goddamn, man, like, it's always
disgusting.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Matt Gaetz using I didn't ask her age. I don't check IDs, man. Crazy. What a wild
shit.
Thing.
Yeah, and the amount of people that they demonize.
Yeah.
Yeah,
man.
Like,
hey, listen.
Like the amount of
no hell
like,
hot
people
enough for
showing
these
up,
freaks that continue to come for the trans community, continue to come for fucking just the LGBTQ community writ large. Is just and meanwhile, this guy's fucking,
I mean, and this Nancy Mace.
Yeah. Oh God, dude.
Right.
I hate her so fucking much.
She tweeting hundreds of times.
Yeah.
About protecting women.
Yeah.
And she was Matt Gaetz' little fucking partner in crime.
Yeah.
When all this Kevin McCarthy, like it's just I'm saying,
so
like
cynical, but like it's nothing,
right?
She's she's greedy for the spotlight, just like a lot of these fucking MAGA era Republicans are. They don't believe in anything. They just want to be in front of the camera more. They were little Marjorie Taylor Greens. They were little fucking Facebook freaks that tried to generate as much fucking outrage as they could to get people to pay attention to them. And then they got elected into office, and that's all she is. That's all Nancy Mace actually is. She is someone that just wants to be paid attention to.
I mean, so Lindsey Graham, like McCain died. Lindsey Graham has asked your friend in the Senate.
Yeah.
What do you admire most? He doesn't say service. He doesn't say longevity. He says staying relevant.
Yep.
What
that's it.
He admired most was staying relevant.
Yep.
What does Lindsey Graham do? He stays relevant.
Yep. That is,
man. Nancy Mace, now Congresswoman from South Carolina.
Yeah.
She learned the lesson. And it's been reported. She wants to be in the news. She's told her staff, we need to be in the news.
Yeah.
And like the things that they do to be there. Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah. Evil. Oh. Again, like none of this matters to her. Remember, like if there was a more pertinent, like divisive social issue, she would pivot to that immediately where she could, center herself. Like she just do that.
Absolutely.
Make no mistake about that type of shit, right? Like she's just, again, a fucking demon. This is somebody that like just a few years ago had trans friends supportive of them, Like she's just a fucking culture vulture, a demon for the attention.
Yeah.
That's all she wants. Hate her so fucking much.
If only it stopped there, because aside from all that, Congress had a quite of an end of the year experience.
Golly.
Almost shutting the government down because of Elon Musk.
It's only 2 more months, right, until the next play, right?
Yeah, well, March 14th.
Oh, 3 more months. Yeah. So right when I get back from Japan. Wow.
Hey. so make sure, okay? So TSA is still going to be up and running, all right?
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, best case scenario, maybe customs is kind of fucked and I just kind of slip whatever I want through, you know?
Or you can't, or you're just like stuck on some port.
Hell
And
yeah.
they just don't let anybody leave.
Hell yeah. Now we're talking. That's my stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
God, yeah, Elon Musk, man. God.
Well,
Speaking of freaks.
so it is funny, and speaking of, because like it's this whole situation, the political, like the political situation for the Speaker of the House, who is a Republican, has largely been the same since John Boehner.
Yes.
In which
Correct.
case, a very small contingent can come in and really fuck with you.
Yep.
Based off of their rules. John Boehner, Paul Ryan, Kevin McCarthy, and now
Mike
they're coming.
Johnson.
But Mike Johnson is in the very same position where, in order to overcome your absolute psychopaths that you have in your party, you have to end up working with Democrats and get something less conservative.
Yep.
Had your party actually been more together. And that's what these, the freaks never,
The opposite problem for
God
the
bless
Democrats
them.
in the Senate, It's just like,
yes. Yeah, exactly. And God bless them, God bless them.
No,
But-
there needs to be more subsidies for raw milk.
Yeah.
Budget can't pass.
So they got this worked out, this whole CR thing, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Elon Musk comes on, says kibosh to the whole thing. And then by the time they figured everything out, there's less projects that are being funded. There's like, things, here and there that, real people are going to feel.
Absolutely.
But, largely just this, a really, really big shit show that as you go into complete Republican control and Trump and whatever the hell he's going to do. And then who knows? And this is where it's like, now it's a question of Mike Johnson being able to get the votes for speaker again, starting in next year.
I can't think that he wouldn't, but I mean, who knows?
Well,
This has
he
been
can
a wildly unpredictable house.
Yeah. He can only lose like 2 Republicans.
Yeah.
And Thomas Massey already said he's not voting for him.
God.
So
I mean, in the first vote, sure. Once we're at like the 18th or some shit, who knows?
We'll see. We will see. We'll see. I don't know. But I mean, there's a lot, and this is where Elon Musk and, with Twitter and what he's unleashed, you're only going to be able to tell the MAGA crowd so much. And you're never going to be able to sell some fucking nerd like Mike Johnson on these MAGA crowd, he's just a dweeb. They see him as establishment, and that's really like what happens though. It's like you get the speaker, and it's either you shut the government down and potentially empire crumbles under your, just because that extended out, just things start falling apart. Or you have to govern, and then everybody hates you, and then you get booted out.
Yeah.
And so what happens next? Who knows? It would be funny if they don't have a speaker and they can't certify the election.
Yeah.
That would make me laugh a little bit, but that who knows?
Or is this
I mean, we
just a
just don't
speaker
know.
crisis at all? Because they're just burning time. This is their trifecta, right? Like the funniest outcome would be just a completely ineffective Republican, because they're still, very thin margin of razor fucking thin. So a very dysfunctional Republican contingent that's unable to capitalize on the ideas and perhaps just stymied by their own infighting will just kind of ruin themselves because they're like idiot hogs at the end of the day. The simplest thing here is just they're all self-serving. Like, these people don't fucking actually care about what happens to like regular American people. They care about how they enrich themselves, how much, aforementioned with Nancy Mace, how much attention they can get on themselves, and what they can do to eventually like put themselves on a path to like aspirationally be like a Nancy Mace or a John Boehner, sitting there with your fucking dispensary, sitting there with your fucking third book deal. Like, that's all they actually fucking care about, because that's what this like country is now. Yeah.
How do you turn this into a multi-million-dollar business?
How do I leverage this into comfortability for myself and my future generations? Because like actually serving the American people, who the fuck does that? Who goes to Congress? Like, realistically, who goes to Congress outside of a couple of people, like an Ilhan Omar or a Rashida Tlaib? Who goes to Congress saying, no, I'm going to make sure that the people in my district are taken care of? Somebody like Rishi Torres, some of the poorest fucking people in the United States in his district. And all he can do is take hundreds of thousands of dollars from AIPAC. Like, these people are absolute fucking charlatans.
Joe Manchin.
Yeah.
Is leaving the Senate.
Yeah.
And him and his daughter, EpiPen heiress, they are starting their own little political consulting group.
Of course they are.
He's keeping his yacht in D.C. so that he can take members onto the, and instead of them just making insider deals, like there's just the money exchange right there.
Yes.
And like, this is it's just very obvious what's going on. And it honestly, that's the frustrating thing is that like so much of like any of these like libertarian like idiots or any of these people who are like, oh well, we need a real democracy and this, that, and whatever, but it's like soon as like Elon Musk says I don't like this, and like everybody do what his said, like all these like independent fucking thinkers just go an automaton robot as soon as Trump wins the election. And it's like, that's the scary thing is like this, we are at that point in history again, where a potentially, we not, like people we know they're known to be racist and hold racist views against immigrants, against black people who are known and expressed misogynist views against women, and people who are known and express like anti-LGBTQ, like this. They are known. Mm-hmm. They are able to be galvanized and weaponized in a specific social media space. And the person with the hand on the whole button is throwing gas on it every second. And that's and like you're saying, like the best bet is they just eat themselves.
Let's see.
We're gonna see.
Wild couple of years ahead. We're almost, we're a month now away from seeing what begins to transpire, kind of post Biden. Man.
Trump 2.0.
Yeah.
Well, Trump's going to have quite a bit to deal with because the world Joe Biden is leaving him is in a whole lot of turmoil.
Nah, it's doing great. Everything looks good, man. I don't know what you mean. Everything's sweet.
Super chill.
What was it? Who said it? It was some publication. It might have just been the Daily Mail or something, where they were just saying like Biden's like super, sad, and Jill's urging him not to just burn it all down the next couple weeks. I was like, I don't know how much credibility there is to that, but I mean, he is just a fucking extremely like pitiful and snide fuck that would.
He's pretty petty. But what does that mean?
He literally, like what do you
Is he gonna start launching nukes or something? Is that what they mean?
Just making like things actively worse for Trump, in the future.
Yeah, I mean,
He's
that's
making
the
like
problem.
the worst fucking deals.
Has he just been making it worse and he wasn't even trying? Because at that point, this is fucking impressive.
Yeah. I will say, like to wit, the you know, it has not been heartening to hear the, you know, the records and reports of just how he's. I think 2021 the earliest, I think, over the past couple weeks that they were talking about, where it was just like, no, he regularly just kind of would not show up for meetings depending on the day and everything like that. Like this country's been on autopilot for 4 years, man.
Yeah. Well, and
we were just we were supposed to just be okay with that. Like, I was told by so many fucking freaks, hey, listen, it's not a perfect choice, but he's got to beat Trump. And this guy just.
They tried to get him to run again. They were going to run him again. Right. That's the thing that's like crazy. Well, for the first run, that's where it's like it all starts in 2019 during the campaign, where they told one of Jill Biden's staffers to shut the fuck up, because he was saying, oh, how often she's getting out there and Jill Biden's doing so great.
Yeah.
Jill Biden's staff had to be shut down on that type of shit. And so it's so even past so like just from the jump, he couldn't do shit. Yeah. You know? And then at 2021, where, you know, it is just an open secret, like, you know, this guy's out to lunch and the people he's just put in charge of things are just operating, doing, you know, whatever they were, you know, kind of like they were originally set out to do. Yeah. And so for like FTC, Lena Khan, you know, with things like the CFPB, with, you know, some of the like union policies, you know, right, where like for the things that they said, hey, Bernie, you got this one, or hey, Elizabeth Warren, you got this one. Yeah. Those things, like, you know, for the seemingly for the 4 years, right? They went there. Yeah. You know, when it comes to, I mean, even the day to day of like the policy work, his chief of staff, Ron Klain, to begin with, you know, is more, you know, not a great, but like more progressive, or to the progressive side of some things, right? And that's when, you know, you're getting a lot of big policy stuff. As that changes over, you know, Republicans come into the House, power in the House. He gets a more conservative chief of staff, and at that point, any type of good dries up, and it's immigration. Yeah, you know, immigration, and I'm not sure what else they really fucking hit on, you know, the past fucking, you know, few years, because like within the past 2 years, well, one, because the House was, you know, McCarthy goes away, but other than, like, outside of immigration, it was just weapons packages for Ukraine and Israel. Yeah. And so and Jake Sullivan and Anthony Blinken have just been doing whatever Henry Kissinger has taught them to do. Yes. And, you know, Joey's been eating ice cream the whole time.
So cool, man. Yeah. And then, like, you know, if pressed, just like, no, we're not doing these things. We're not making deals. We're not, you know, stay the course. Continue to, you know, give Benjamin Netanyahu what he wants. And that's it. Devout believer in the project. Any last like word on any of that, just closing the door on it.
Yeah.
Just a useless edifice of the remainder of a fucking politician at the end of his life.
And even if, you know, Anthony Blinken and Jake Sullivan, even if they wanted to, what position does President Weekend at fucking Biden's, right? What type of leverage do you have on someone trying to negotiate with you when you know the fucking lights are on when no one's home for the person who's actually signing down on it? Because at any point in time, Netanyahu could just say, hey, I just need to talk to you, Joey. Just you and you, Joe, right?
Yeah.
And then whatever actual logic, whatever gets talked about beforehand, it all goes away to the addled brain, and he gets the final say.
Yeah.
So, and I don't believe it for a fucking second. Anthony Blinken and Jake Sullivan, you should just go to the fucking Hague forever. But at any point in time, if they ever said you guys need to cool the jets just a little bit, they forever get to say fuck you. Because once Bibi just demands to talk to Biden, Biden's never going to deny that phone call. And at that point, you got this old fucker in a vice because he's not able to navigate out of it on his own. His brain is no longer able to.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Man.
Man.
Again, like I said, I don't know. I said it last week, and it just, it keeps running through my head. Like, what a dog shit, easily the worst, like, Democratic president of my lifetime, but one of, the worst Democratic presidents of the modern era. Like, it's so crazy, like, how much of a failure Biden's administration was. Like, looking back now, looking to what, how little, if anything, it did to really push back and overturn anything that Trump did during his time. Like, you can say, like, well, they were, nicer to the LGBTQ community, this and that, but, like, they kept his tariffs, they kept his fucking wall funding. Like, I just don't know what to tell you, man. Like, they kept the camps, like,
ICE data came out.
Right.
Deporter in chief title. Sorry, Obama. Joey got you beat.
It's crazy, man. Just
Mayorkas was bragging. They did an interview on Face the Nation. He was bragging about deporting more people in 3 years than Trump did in 4.
Yep.
They were bragging about it.
Yeah.
Like
this is it. This was supposed to be the most progressive administration, right? Okay, well.
Yeah. It's really, it is really something that, like, over the past 2 years especially, of looking back to Obama's foreign policy as the humane democratic human foreign policy. Like, now the drone strike guy, that guy seems like the pacifist in these scenarios now. Like, the fact that he couldn't get, Joe Biden didn't go back on Cuba, and, like, the state sponsor of terrorist lists, like, what the really fuck is going on? You can't bring him off of that?
It's crazy, man.
Keeping all the same shit with Venezuela and then bragging about deporting people. Take off the sanctions.
Yeah.
Just let them sell some fucking oil and it's all fine.
Let them get access to, gasoline for their generators. Like, I don't know, man. It's so...
Stop sending dipshit veterans to go kill Maduro, okay? It's not going to work. Fucking hell, man. Jesus.
It's crazy, honestly, for me to think about, like, these vestiges of these vestiges of this ghost of an administration, really, that's just been kind of skating by, hoping that the promise of things like the Inflation Reduction Act, which, again, like, inflation just now, like very mild easing, if that, if the markets are to be believed, type of shit. But, like, what was all this for? What was the plan of this? Like, oh, maybe we get some fucking infrastructure, maybe like 5-10 years out. Trump's gonna fuck with half of that through tariffs, or just, like, straight up, having them write down in future budgets to defund some of these things. So what was it all for? What is the lasting legacy of a Biden administration besides tens of thousands of dead, in Palestine and other countries? What is Biden leaving behind? Outside of, again, hundreds of thousands of refugees attempting to come into this fucking, asylum seekers attempting to come into this country for safety, for just a brief fucking moment. I don't know. It's
Remember, I know it's all the student loan debt he.
Ooh.
Fuck.
Think of those hundreds of people.
Yeah.
Wow.
And oh my God, this is where, with everything, it's just it's always a little too late.
No.
And like even if you're like backing, supporting, and just the militarism of Ukraine, even with that, everything just a little too late. Everything's like a little behind, and never really just doing the right thing up front. The student loan debt that could have been done, it had to be done with COVID stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Or it was just not going to work. Prosecuting Trump, and actually, what I'm saying? They needed to start that right away.
Yeah. Had people scared. Could have done it on January 7th. Just had them in a fucking lock.
Yeah, but
here we are instead.
Here we are.
How fun. Like I said, just one of the most, I dare, a Will Stancil type or something like that to really tell me that this was a successful administration. What part of the Biden administration is going to be remembered in 20 years in a positive light? What did they do? Sorry, man.
Got
people vaccinated. Yeah, sorry. People are paying fucking $150 to that vaccine now so that they can continue to be safe.
Yeah.
Minimum wage fucking work. Servers don't have insurance. $213 an hour. Can't even keep themselves vaccinated so they can work 5-6 days a fucking week. Waiting on people bringing their fucking food every day. Okay, man. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me what the lasting impact of his fucking administration is. Just pathetic. A pathetic party.
Horrific. And and especially it's like you had there. There's a lot of problems, and it is the party.
Yeah.
So much of this comes out of the actual party mechanics being way too elite, way too up their own ass. And thinking, and that a 74-year-old with, throat cancer, just has to have the gavel. God, it's just, they're so completely out of touch and just in it for themselves.
There's a crumbling gerontocracy, man. That we talked about it earlier. The lady that just disappeared. Hasn't been voting for half a year, and they're like, I wonder what's up with her. Just in an old folks home, actually. Yeah. They emptied out her fucking office on Thanksgiving, didn't tell nobody. They're like, she's gone now.
It's specifically an old folks home for dementia and mental fucking issues. It is, come on.
And this is it. This is our government. This is what we get to look forward to. These are the people that are going to make all those decisions. Okay.
And because Nancy Pelosi is recovering from hip surgery because she fell down a flight of stairs in Luxembourg.
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm sorry, but listen, I've got a good idea, and I don't think it's been pitched before, so I'm gonna. So a jewel, right? That at a certain point in a senator, congressperson's hand just starts blinking rapidly when they become too old for the job, and they get taken to a place known as the carousel. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'll call it Larry's Run. Never been thought of before. I think that will really, I think that'll hit. Yeah. I think people will really enjoy that, and then just trade them out for a new one.
You get a new one. I want to take this opportunity to start a business venture, consulting group. Okay. I am going to hire some of the best judo martial artists.
Okay.
Professional wrestlers.
Yeah.
And some, elder health care to create a take the Fall Consultancy Group, which is just to advise some of the elder geriatrics, that run our society, how to fall without hurting themselves. Mitch McConnell just beat himself up again. Pelosi dropped a hip. I'm just going to lean in, and just going to teach them how to survive longer, because we're never going to escape their death grip. Right? They don't feel their hand. They're just locked in the fist.
That's right. That's right. Man. Yeah. Pretty cool.
It's a great country you have there. It should be a shame if they had to walk downstairs, goddamn, this is
you don't even need private security and shit like that. I'm sorry, a little fucking black ice will do you for most of these folks. All right. Sorry.
That's so what's gonna be?
We have the greatest assassin in Russia. What's that? She slipped on. We're good. Okay.
Call him back.
All right. Just embarrassing.
Oh shit.
Plus we lost that F-18. I forgot to talk about that, but that was funny.
Yeah.
They just do that when they're in distress, man. Just follow the sky. Sorry.
I don't know what to believe, because there's for one thing, if the Pentagon says the sky is blue, no, it's not. But they say it's like friendly fire. And I mean, listen, it's one thing to, have an NFL star on another, Army unit and, end up just shooting him because he's been outspoken about the Iraq war. That friendly fire, right? That's normal.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
How does a cruiser shoot at a fucking jet? That's, what I'm saying? That I feel like that takes multiple people to be like, yes, fire, though,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
What the hell?
Who knows, man?
I mean, it's just wild. And
anything's possible, I guess, easiest explanation. Maybe they did. Maybe stupid people all the time that pull the trigger on stupid things.
And it's
crazy. It is, again, like the biggest marvel of my life is going over like Cold War history and like just being amazed that we're still here because of how many like just idiots there were like across the decades. They were almost so fucking close. Out of pure and sheer stupidity, almost just ended everything.
Yeah. And that's so it's just, I get very, it's like, how the fuck does it even happen? And that's part of it, just like, one person was doing a double shift and they fell asleep. Yeah. And then there's two idiots, and then there's just one person who knew exactly what was happening but didn't say anything because they hate the military already, but they still have to, serve the rest of their contract. But then the other part of me thinks like, did Yemen shoot down a jet and they don't want anybody to know?
That'd be the craziest, Yeah.
And like, I don't know if I'm tinfoil hat for thinking that, but it's like that thought is in my head.
Yeah.
It's there, and it's not like I can rely on
the military always lies to me. What am I supposed to think?
What am I supposed to do? Exactly.
What am I supposed to think? They just told me there are Iranian fucking drone ships and shit, man. I'm supposed to believe anything they say? I don't know, man. I don't know what to say to you.
I mean, although that's potential. Yeah. They're like, they're hopped up on Fox News, the drones and shit like that. And so like, they're just like, oh my God, it's a drone,
That's true. They thought the F-18 was a drone. Yeah. Somebody showed a laser light at it. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Hate to see it.
Gotta go. No, it's wild.
It's gonna be exciting.
That, like, it was like Maverick from Top Gun. He's like, oh, I'm gonna buzz the tower, and the tower's like, no, the fuck you are not.
Tom Cruise was actually in that plane. He was like, I'm taking. I wanted to. It's my new stunt. I'm flying an F-18. They were like, take him down.
Yeah, get him down.
Sorry, not even Tom Cruise. He's a civilian. Get him out of here.
got these coffee beans and turkey. We're not gonna buzz the tower. Shoot them down.
Oh yeah. Well. Yeah.
No. Well. Jinx. Double jinx.
Yeah. We're gonna listen. We're gonna leave folks an amazing Christmas. I think. We're doing something next week, right? Probably on stream.
No.
Okay.
Are we? I thought next. Wait.
Right
January.
before the end of January. No. If not, that's fine.
Wait, no, the beginning of January.
Beginning of January. That's the one. Yeah. Beginning of January. Yeah. Sorry, they're all the same.
Yes.
It's the same week. All right. December and January intertwine. They get stuck together. All right.
A little bit.
I had these
Like
dogs
every
one
month.
time. Yeah.
So yeah, we will be back. Oh, sometime around
Sometime in the new
January
year.
2nd,
Yeah.
or 3rd, somewhere around there. But yeah, I mean, 2024
Sure was the year.
a year.
I did some things.
Yeah.
Learned a lot about living and a little bit of love, you know? Mm-hmm. So, hope you have a silver lining, Marcus.
Winston.
Yeah. Is it Winston? Is it just Winston?
Winston is my only silver lining. Okay.
Okay.
The only thing good in this world is right here.
Yeah.
This fuzzy little guy that doesn't let me sleep in past 5:30 any morning.
Amazing. That's so good.
No, my silver lining, and it is always with the efforts and the movements that are building something good.
Yeah.
Some we didn't talk about. Like, find a fucking Amazon warehouse if you can.
Yeah.
New York, Georgia, California.
I mean, take it outside of it. Why didn't that? That's weird.
Illinois. If you could even just drop by, case of water, some hot coffee, got some hand warmers or whatever, Starbucks strikes going.
Yeah, Starbucks strike is going. Oh.
And fucking that's the shit. So yeah, keep that fire going into 2025, and
yeah, I like that. Exciting.
What about you?
Yeah, much the same. There's a lot of they do like group cooks and everything for the bigger mutual aid organizations out here that are on pause until the new year. So next couple of weeks aren't very busy. But once the new year starts, I don't know, I'm just excited to get in, make stuff, do things, feed people,
Yeah.
Just got a new community fridge and everything too. Another one just got moved right down the street next to my favorite bookstore. So it's kind of pop by and load that up. It'll be fun.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is for everyone, depending on what you like. Hats, socks, hand warmers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you see people
Food
who
Not
are
Bomb's
unhoused.
been building warming kits around here.
Yeah,
passing
yeah. And even simple things that a buddy of mine was if you're in a gas station, and you got a few bucks, and they got the hats and they got the gloves right there. You just pick up a hat and gloves, and then you see somebody, bam, pop them off, and then next time you're at the gas station, you can pick up another set. And that's something easy and that they usually people appreciate, because all that type of stuff, socks wore out real quick, all those type of things wore out real quick, and so I don't know, we're doing what we can to save each other. So yeah,
It's true. It's true.
outside of that, I'll see you next year.
Yeah. Everybody have a nice holiday, Christmas, Saturnalia, Kwanzaa, anything else, Hanukkah, whatever you're celebrating,
Yeah.
Yule, and we'll be back next year.
Peace.
Bye.